Okay, getting things started here. I've got to go to another page here, get to my YouTube channel up for monitoring. And it is not Grandpa Doug. This is the other one. Live Windows Training. Oh, I should be able to just click over here, your channel. That'll do it. Yeah, I realized while I was away from the computer that I didn't have this monitoring up yet. Let's see if I can confirm audio. I didn't have this monitoring up yet. Yep, there's audio. That's working. And I see some people in chat. Oh, I got my Stream Deck set on the wrong buttons. And there's some hellos. Hello to all of you who are showing up. And Tony says AVDVR good. So coming back to here. This is, well, actually, I guess I could still be there because that's Windows Daily 22. Number 22, Jose's HP wake up failure and Zoom recap. Then I'll come over to the Microsoft Word document and catch up there. Bring this on if I scroll back up to the green. Now I commented about this one yesterday because that's going to be the a topic for today about Jose's HP laptop that has trouble coming out of suspend mode or standby mode, whatever you want to call it. The first time he tries to come out of it, it comes out fine. So I'm going to go show what I have for that in my response right here, Harold's laptop playlist. So I'm going to go show that. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. You don't have to go watch all those videos to figure out what to do. And then let's come down and look at other items from yesterday's Windows Daily 21. Regarding the fix for Zoom Virtual, there was a super chat from Frankie B, and thank you again. Dennis said that there's an update right now, 5.11.4. We're going to go look at that closer because there's some interesting learnings by looking deeper at the detail. If you just take your fix and then move on, you lose the opportunity to learn some things. I like to look a little deeper. Rick Lakes did a $5 super chat. BH Ringer's pointing out the release notes resolved an issue for a subset of users with AMD processors regarding video freezing when using virtual background. So Ken Stout asks, does that mean it's only for AMD? We're going to go look deeper at that. That's what the release stats. Extra squirrel. I want to show the time index for Windows Daily 21 because I said I was going to go back and put in time index. I'm going to show a little bit about how to use that. And then Wintermute gave some more information about that release. We're going to go look at that in deeper. And about the build numbers, about being able to download and install any version that you want. And then from email, Dennis Thompson sent me a notice about a tweet about a UEFI rootkit. I don't think we're going to talk in depth about that one today, but I think that's going to be tomorrow. I think it deserves a longer amount of time than what I can give it today. So then let's go. I'm going to look first at the time indexes and then go into Jose's issue. The time indexes for Windows Daily 21. Here it is. When you see a video that has this broken line here, that indicates there's time indexes available in the video description. So if I come down here and click on the right here, the word more, that expands the description area, and then come down here and this time index is there now. Of course, it wasn't there when I was doing the live stream yesterday because I don't know what times I'm going to do each of these things. So if you click on any of these, that'll take you right to that spot in the video where that subject is being talked about. Now, I think there's also a way that you can, I think there's a hotkey that you can just advance to the next segment. I don't remember what that was. It seems like I knew it at one point. And I want to point out for Ken Stout and Dennis that there is a piece in here, audio for Ken. Audio volume decreases during the 5 seconds after that 104. Automatically, without me doing anything. I'm pointing out that out to Ken Stout to tell you the streaming software that we're using or something about this is doing some automatic adjustments to volume or to audio settings that we are not commanding. And I say that to Ken because he's had some variations happening with audio, and so do I. If you go listen to that right now, I'm a little bit loud, and then the volume decreases without me doing anything. So I'm interested, if somebody finds an explanation for that, I'm interested in that. And then the one for Dennis, as he has pointed out to me before, the annoying audio anomaly. It occurs at 1337. I put in an index here for 1336. You can hear that piece. If somebody can figure out or have a suggestion for fixing that, I'd like to hear about that. Now then, let's go on to Jose's issue. Scrolling back up here in the Word document. From Puerto Rico, my HP NV360 laptop, yada, 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 starts showing a problem while running Windows 10. The display goes to suspend. The first time there's some activity, it returns to normal. The next suspend thereafter, the screen will not display until a hard reset. Bluetooth devices will disconnect after the first suspension. Upgraded the operating system to Windows 11. Problem persisted. I tried to fix it, recommended in interest groups, other websites, no success. Then I started getting blue screens, which had nothing to do with the display, but with the NVMe drive. After replacing the drive, I did a clean install of Windows 11. Initially, the problem was solved, but after some updates, it returned. I suspected it had to do with Intel graphics display driver or other driver, so I tried to downgrade the drivers, but I had problems getting them to work. Recently, a family member with a similar, not identical laptop from March 2018 told me his equipment has the same problem. I have come across this problem at least twice and fixed it at least twice using the methods I'm about to show you. In an internet forum, I read that Intel warns that installing generic end drivers instead of those supplied by the manufacturers can lead to problems like this. I don't think that's it. Similar problems related to the drivers have been reported, but I've been unable to find a permanent solution. I say I don't think that's it because the two laptops that I came across with this problem had not done any manual drivers change. So response is Harold's playlist, and I'm going to right-click that and copy that hyperlink and paste it into chat so that it is available from there. Let's see, live streaming, not that one. I'll go over on this one and paste that into chat, and then I'm going to go show that. So I'm going to come up here to a new tab, and I'm going to paste that link into the address bar and show that that brings me to these videos that I did with Harold. Now, I did a few different things with Harold. The ones about the sleep problem are right here, 1 through 4. Number 4 is saying success. Well, it was the work that we did in number 3 that provided the success. Rather than having you go watch that video, you can if you want to. I'm going to show you what we did. A very simple fix. Takes a few minutes to accomplish. Right-click on the Windows button in the bottom left corner. You're other right, Doug. Bottom left corner, click on the right-click on the Windows button, and then choose Device Manager. And then what we did is simply disable power management for all the devices. Now, here I'm starting at the bottom. There's no power management tab on this. Not all of the items in these lists have power management, and I think it's probably sufficient to only do the USB items, which means rather than going down at the bottom and working your way up to check every device driver, you could just go in here to Universal Serial Bus Driver, start at the bottom, right-click, choose Properties. This has power management. Allow the computer to turn off. Remove that check mark. And then click OK. I'll go ahead and remove it because I don't really want them going to sleep anyway. Then go to the next one, right-click, choose Properties, Power Management, remove that. I haven't found and don't know of any way to do these en masse by, with a single command to get rid of all of them. There might be something, but remove all of those, restart your computer, and see if the symptom is gone. So I've been able to fix it on the only 2 computers I've come across with that. Now keep going up the rest of the drivers. There's power management, remove the check mark. I don't think it matters that I have some of mine disabled now and some of them not. I'm not having this trouble. So just disable all of that that has to do with allowing the computer to turn off the device. We don't want the computer turning any devices off. And what I found is that made those computers consistently start up or wake up after standby mode. So that is the full response to Jose. And then let's go look more about this Zoom issue, about AMD processors. So down here, let's see, where is it? Yeah, Wintermute gave us this link. And then as I was looking at that, I want to get just that link. We can copy that, and I'll put that into chat, but I'm also going to show you another way to find this. Let's come over here and put that into today's chat right here. And let's see, is there anybody trying to get my attention saying, hey, there's a problem on the stream? Nope, nothing there. And then if I go to a fresh tab and Control V to paste that, that'll take us to these release notes. This is a really great informative thing, and we're going to talk about this in more depth. But I thought, how do I find this if I don't have that link at hand, conveniently at hand, provided by Wintermute? The people that were trying to find the solution for this were struggling, trying to find a way to install the old release. So here's what we do. Is if you go to the new tab and just go to zoom.us, of course, people that are not in US need to use whatever the Zoom URL is for their country. And then we're looking for, how do we maneuver to find this? Well, I looked at that earlier, and now on resources, exploring Zoom client support. That's it. So here's the way to go, support. Now, I had a few false paths that I went down trying to find it, but this does make sense. That it'd be in support, customer support. Now I want to find the release notes. How do I find that? Well, I scroll down here. Oh, how about that? Release notes. View all release notes. Click on that. And that gets us to Zoom releases by date. If you click on one of these dates, you're going to get releases that are for that date. This is not for the product that we care about. We don't want the workspace reservation. So you don't want to go look by date. What you want to do is look by product. So what we're interested in is release notes for Zoom client. We click on that, and then we get, all right, do you want Windows or Mac or Linux? So we want Windows, most of the people who would watch my videos. And here we get to that same page that Wintermute had provided that link for. Now let's look at more detail about this, because there's some interesting lessons in here. This was last updated July 26th. That's today. There are two download types, manual and prompted. I want to point out the lesson here. Notice that this upcoming release, July 25th, that was yesterday, the version number is not displayed here. Version to be determined. Now that was the fix for the issue. There's actually no download for it right from here. We come down to here, previous release, that's the 5.11.3 that has the problem. Notice its download type is manual. And so why doesn't it have the download type of prompted? Well, I suspect that when that one first came out, it did say download type prompted. And I'm guessing that's why Greg actually installed it, because he was prompted to. Once Zoom found there was a problem, I suspect they changed this from prompted to manual. Now, there might be somebody watching this video that knows how to go look at the history of different websites. There are places that provide the history. And so can you go back and look at July 18th to see if this download type said manual at that time? I don't care enough to go looking for that. Then Download Center, you can go to here to get that 5.11.3, but what else? But I want to go down and show some more stuff. Now, actually, before I go down, we're going to start a little bit, go back up here. Here's what this release was telling us. There's minor bug fixes and resolved an issue for a subset of users with AMD processors regarding video freezing when using a virtual background. Greg has an AMD processor. In the Ken Stout Live community, what they were trying to figure out, why is your computer having the problem and the rest of us are not? I don't recall, I did not notice whether they ever pointed out that Greg was the only one with an AMD processor. He might not have been the only one with an AMD processor. There might have been other AMD processors in the group that had not yet updated to 5.11.3, or if they had, perhaps their computer didn't have this problem, because perhaps it was only AMD processors with a particular make and model of a graphics card, or with a particular hard drive, or with a particular CPU combination. We don't know the details about what the problem was with AMD processors. There might not have been all of them. Then, and then also maybe if an AMD processor has graphics capability built into it, were those computers having troubles? Now, I showed yesterday how Process Monitor revealed to us that Zoom was collecting information about the computer. It was looking into DLL files. It was looking into device driver files. It was finding all the information about this computer, prepared to send that information to Zoom if Greg had clicked on that button, allowing it to send the information to Zoom. If he had done that, then his computer would have participated in figuring out which computers have the problem, because Zoom would have, the company, the technicians, would have had a programming capability to evaluate all these reports coming in from the computers that are having trouble to see what do they have in common. Once they figure out what they have in common, then the software engineers could figure out what the solution was. Now, I suspect that they had made a change in this 5.11.3 that had somehow utilized different coding, different commands within the CPU to utilize that virtual background, that somehow the AMD processors that were having the trouble did not have that command. Once they see, oh, these are the computers that have the problem, here's what they have in common, now we can figure out how to go fix it. They fix it very quickly. Now, when we scroll down and look at the other updates in the past, some other interesting lessons here. This update is also set for manual. This update is set for manual. Keep going down. And here's another one set for manual. Another one set for manual. Wow, how far does this go back that they were set for manual, not prompted? Here's April 24th is set for prompted. Now, I went ahead and installed one of these older versions yesterday on top of the newest version that I have. I'm going to go launch it now and see if I get prompted to update it, because last time I tested this, I did not. And I suspect it's because there is not a recent version that is configured to be prompted. And I don't know if the one that I installed was prior to 5.10.4. I suspect if what I have on my computer now is older than 5.10.4, I would get prompted to install this version, but not a more recent. So now I'm going to pop over to this screen and see what version I have. Let's turn off the picture-in-picture and come down to help, about Zoom. I have 5.11.1. Oh, I moved back up. That's not the older one that I have, is it? Or is it? Yeah, I'm back to 5.11.1, which there's nothing that is prompted after that, because after 5.11, I have to wonder if it already updated and I didn't notice the update occur. But anyway, I just find it interesting that they are configured that way for manual and for prompted. And I suspect that they're going to come out with a newer version that will have a new version here, and it will be prompted. But for just the AMD users that need this fix, they're not prompting it. Interesting. In my world. Now, what else did in the mind of a Doug, I guess is a better way to say it. When we go down and look at these features, I was interested in this 5.11.3. Was it making any change regarding virtual background? And so there's a lot of stuff to search for there. So I tried Control F and typed the word virtual. And what I'm doing here is just a little more kind of lessons learned from this. This shows I got 45 of them. When I click down to the next one, how far down did that go? Is this in the, nope, that's went way older. There is not a way to search just this release of 5.11.3 for a particular word. But if you were wanting to find, does this release actually deal with a particular subject you might be interested in, what you could do, my hand kind of slips, is highlight the area that you want. Now, Control F does not restrict the search to that text. I tried it. I'm doing a Control C and then switching over to Microsoft Word. There it is, and start a new document in Microsoft Word. and then paste it in here. Now, if I do a Control F and type virtual, I can see if that word occurs in here at all, and it does not. Right here it says no matches. How about if I type background? Did they try to do anything with background? And nope, there's no matches. So it's a way to search through notes that are not conveniently searchable for the purposes that you're trying to search in any particular situation. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. After I finish the live stream, no doubt I will remember something that I was intending to say during this live stream that I forgot to say. Oh well, that's the way it goes. So here's 22. I'll pop out the chat. We'll take a quick look there to see if there's an idea of support of things for us to do. There's my 2 links. AVDR, good. Zvi, does only I notice when Doug's scrolling in the chat or in the browser, the image is blurred. Include the Windows camera. Interesting. And Kenny says, I see that all the time when he scrolls up or down. So for both Zvi and Kenny, could you check right now on your gear icon and see if you are indeed showing 1080p? I would like to know that. I'm going to give you a chance to respond to that before I end this stream, but we're ending very soon. So just respond with what your resolution is currently showing, because sometimes that's what causes it. But there's some other things on my mind that might be causing that. So I'd like to check into that. I'm not seeing a response yet. And there's Zvi says 1080p. So I'm assuming he didn't just switch to 1080p, but he has 1080p when he notices the blurring. So I'm going to kind of look at that a little bit. Kenny Whitten is also saying 1080p. Tony Wallow 720. All right, that's it for this. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I hope that was useful. And catch you later.